They don't want you to know this. I'm a brain doctor, and after decades of treating stroke patients, I can tell you one terrifying truth. Many strokes aren't caused by bad luck, family history, or random chance. They're triggered by simple, everyday habits inside the shower. Yes, the place you feel safest could secretly be the most dangerous room in your home. Every year, strokes steal the lives of more than 6 million people worldwide. And here's the shocking part. Studies show that stroke risk spikes by more than 60% in the morning hours, right when most people are stepping into the shower. The wrong temperature, the wrong timing, even the way you hold your head. They can all turn a relaxing rinse into the trigger for a life-changing brain event. I've seen patients walk into their bathrooms fine, only to be carried out minutes later unable to speak, walk, or recognize their loved ones. And why haven't you heard about this? Because there's no profit in prevention. The trillion-dollar health industry makes money from pills, surgeries, and rehab, not from you learning the truth. Every stroke means more medications, more hospital bills, more long-term care. But you taking a safer shower, that doesn't make them a dime. That's why this message gets buried. Until now. Because in this video, we will reveal the 8 most dangerous shower habits that secretly raise your stroke risk overnight. Ranked from least to most dangerous, each habit is backed by science, shocking stats, and real patient stories. And stick around because number 1 is the most dangerous of them all. Almost every senior does it without thinking. Every single reference I mention is linked in the description below, so you can see the science for yourself. But before we dive in, let me ask you, how old are you and your next birthday? Drop it in the comments. We're reading and replying to every single one because your stories inspire this entire community. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Number 8. Showering immediately after a heavy meal. For many people, nothing feels better than finishing a big lunch or dinner and then heading straight for a relaxing shower. But if you're over 60, this habit could quietly raise your stroke risk. Here's why. After eating, your body redirects a huge portion of blood flow toward your stomach and intestines to help with digestion. Doctors call this postprandial blood redistribution. It simply means your muscles and your brain are temporarily receiving less blood. When you immediately step into a hot shower after a meal, your blood vessels dilate even further because of the heat. The result? Your already reduced brain blood flow drops even lower, which can trigger dizziness, fainting, or in vulnerable people, a stroke. Meet Harold, 70. After Sunday dinners with his family, he often felt heavy and sluggish. His habit was to head straight to the bathroom for a hot shower to freshen up. One evening, just minutes after stepping out, he felt dizzy and his vision blurred. His wife noticed his speech slurred and immediately called 911. At the hospital, doctors told Harold he experienced a transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke. The culprit: the combination of a large meal, a sudden drop in blood pressure, and the added vascular stress of a hot shower. Fortunately, Harold recovered, but he was warned never to repeat that habit. The fix is straightforward. Wait at least 45 minutes to an hour after eating before you shower. This gives your body time to complete the initial blood-hungry stages of digestion. When you do step in, keep the water lukewarm instead of very hot, so you don't compound the drop in blood pressure. If you've just had a particularly heavy meal, like pasta or steak, it's even more important to wait. A short walk after eating is far better for your body than rushing to the bathroom. It may feel harmless, but showering right after a meal forces your brain to compete for blood supply. And that's a competition it should never have to fight. But if you thought that was dangerous, wait until you hear about the next habit, because the temperature you choose in the shower could be straining your blood vessels more than any big meal ever could. Number 7. Taking very long hot showers. For many people, the shower is a sanctuary. The place where stress melts away in hot water feels like therapy. But if you're over 60, staying too long under scalding water could silently push your brain toward danger. The reason is simple. Hot water doesn't just relax muscles. It forces blood vessels across your entire body to widen, a process called vasodilation. When this happens briefly, it's usually harmless. But when you linger too long, your blood pressure can fall dramatically. For someone with aging arteries or already unstable circulation, that drop is enough to starve the brain of oxygen and set the stage for a stroke. Meet Gloria, 72. She had always loved long baths and showers, often standing under steaming water for half an hour just to relax. One morning, after a particularly long shower, she stepped out and felt her knees buckle. Her husband rushed in as she collapsed against the bathroom sink, slurring her words. At the hospital, she was diagnosed with a mild ischemic stroke. The doctors explained that the extended heat had pushed her blood pressure too low, just as a tiny clot blocked one of her brain's arteries. What felt like self-care had quietly been undermining her brain's survival. The solution isn't to avoid showers altogether. It's to shorten them and moderate the temperature. Seniors should keep hot showers to 10 minutes or less, and the water warm, not scalding. If you want heat therapy for relaxation, a warm towel or a shorter soak works better and safer than standing in steam until your blood pressure crashes. Pay attention to dizziness, blurred vision, or lightheadedness after a long shower. These are warning signs your brain isn't getting the blood flow it needs. Long hot showers may feel luxurious, but they can turn treacherous for an aging brain. And if heat and time can be dangerous, wait until you hear what happens when your shower becomes dangerously cold. Number 6. Standing still too long in hot water. It may feel comforting to just stand motionless under a stream of hot water, letting it run down your back. But if you're over 60, that simple act could be putting your brain at risk. Here's why. When you stay still in one position, especially in hot water, blood tends to pool in your legs instead of circulating back up to your brain. The heat makes this worse by dilating blood vessels, meaning they get wider and hold even more blood in the lower body. The result? A dangerous drop in blood pressure, less oxygen reaching your brain, dizziness, and, in extreme cases, a stroke. Meet Robert, 69. He had always taken pride in his long, relaxing showers. His favorite part was standing still under the spray, eyes closed, letting the warmth soothe him. One morning, his wife heard a thud and rushed to find him slumped against the shower wall, barely conscious. At the hospital, doctors explained that his blood pressure had crashed from standing motionless in hot water. While he didn't suffer a full stroke, he experienced a transient ischemic attack, a warning shot that the next episode could be far more devastating. That scare was enough to change his routine forever. The solution is to keep moving. Don't just stand still under the water. Shift your weight, flex your legs, or gently move your arms. This simple activity keeps circulation flowing back to your heart and brain. Also, keep the water at a moderate temperature rather than scalding hot. 10 minutes of gentle washing and movement is far safer than 15 minutes of standing still in heat that slowly drains blood away from your brain. It's not the shower itself that's deadly, it's the stillness combined with heat. And while stillness is risky, the next habit is just as shocking. Adding sudden bursts of extreme cold that jolt your blood vessels like an electric shock. Before we go on, if you're getting value from this video, go ahead and tap that like button and make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss out on powerful health tips like these. Number 5. Using extremely cold showers suddenly. Cold showers have become a trend in recent years. You see videos of athletes and influencers plunging into ice baths or turning the handle all the way down for a health boost. While brief cold exposure can have benefits for younger, healthy people, for seniors, especially those over 60, jumping into freezing water suddenly can be dangerous. Here's why. When your body is hit with extreme cold, blood vessels constrict instantly. Doctors call this vasoconstriction. It causes your blood pressure to spike as your heart pumps harder to push blood through narrowed vessels. If you already have stiff arteries or a history of high blood pressure, that sudden surge can rupture a fragile vessel in your brain or trigger a clot to break loose, leading straight to a stroke. Meet Janet, 65. Inspired by a popular wellness challenge, she decided to end her morning showers with 2 minutes of ice-cold water. At first, she felt energized, but one morning, as soon as the cold spray hit her chest, she felt her heart pound erratically. Within minutes, she grew dizzy and her right hand went weak. Her husband rushed her to the ER, where doctors diagnosed a mild stroke. They explained that the sudden cold had triggered a massive spike in blood pressure, straining a vulnerable artery in her brain. What seemed like a healthy trend nearly cost her independence. If you enjoy cool showers, the safer approach is gradual exposure. Start with lukewarm water and slowly lower the temperature, giving your body time to adjust. Never jump straight into icy water, especially if you're over 60 or have cardiovascular concerns. And if you take medications for blood pressure or circulation, it's even more critical to avoid sudden shocks to your vascular system. Cold showers may look trendy online, but for the aging brain, they can be like playing Russian roulette with your circulation. And if sudden cold is dangerous, wait until you hear about the risks of using showers that are far too hot, especially in small, unventilated bathrooms. Number 4. Washing hair with head bent down too long. Most people never think twice about how they wash their hair, but bending your head down for too long in the shower can quietly put your brain at serious risk. When you tilt your head forward and hold it there, blood flow to and from the brain is disrupted. In younger people, the body compensates easily. But in seniors, especially those with stiff arteries, reduced neck mobility, or plaque buildup in the carotid arteries, that position can cause dizziness, reduced oxygen to the brain, and in severe cases, even trigger a stroke. Doctors sometimes call this the beauty parlor syndrome. It was first observed in people getting their hair washed in salon sinks, where the neck was hyperextended or flexed for too long. In fact, a review published in the Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases confirmed that prolonged awkward neck positions during hair washing or salon treatments can lead to vertebral artery dissection, tiny tears in the arteries that supply blood to the brain. Those tears can form clots, which may travel to the brain and cause strokes, even in people who seemed perfectly healthy before. Meet Carla, 67. She enjoyed pampering herself and would often take long showers at night, spending several minutes with her head bent down scrubbing shampoo into her scalp. One evening, after rinsing her hair with her head down longer than usual, she suddenly felt severe dizziness when she stood upright. Moments later, she noticed weakness in her right arm and slurred speech. Her daughter rushed her to the hospital, where doctors confirmed she had suffered a small stroke linked to restricted blood flow through her neck arteries. The culprit wasn't her shampoo. It was the position she had unknowingly held for too long. The solution is surprisingly simple. Keep your head upright as much as possible when washing your hair. If you must bend forward, do it briefly and return to neutral quickly. Another safer option is to tilt slightly back instead of all the way forward, which keeps blood vessels less compressed. Seniors with known vascular problems, dizziness, or previous mini strokes should be especially cautious. Using a handheld shower head while standing more upright can also reduce strain on the neck and arteries. A stroke doesn't care whether you're at the salon or in your home shower. If circulation is blocked, the brain suffers instantly. And while bending down is risky, the next habit is just as dangerous because it combines posture and temperature in a way that makes your blood vessels fight against themselves. Number 3. Taking showers right after waking up. When you first wake up in the morning, your brain and body are in one of their most vulnerable states. Cortisol, the stress hormone, naturally spikes in the early hours, and blood pressure tends to rise sharply. Scientists call this the morning surge, and studies show it's one of the biggest risk periods for strokes. In fact, Research in Stroke, a journal of the American Heart Association, found that the majority of strokes occur between 6 a.m. and noon, right when people are stepping into their showers. Here's the problem. Your body has just spent hours lying flat in bed. Circulation is slower, your blood vessels are stiffer, and your brain hasn't fully adjusted to being upright yet. When you've immediately shocked the system with a hot shower, your blood vessels dilate quickly while your pressure is already unstable. That swing can put incredible stress on weakened arteries in the brain. For some people, that's all it takes for a vessel to rupture or a clot to get lodged in the wrong spot. Meet Frank, 70. He was disciplined about his routine, up at 6, shower by 6:05, breakfast by 6:30. One morning, his wife heard a loud crash. She found him slumped in the shower, barely conscious. Doctors later explained he had suffered a hemorrhagic stroke triggered by his body's natural morning blood pressure surge, combined with the sudden dilation from a hot shower. His decades-long routine had unknowingly set him up for disaster. Thankfully, he survived, but his recovery was long, and the lesson was unforgettable. The fix isn't complicated. Don't rush from bed to the bathroom. Give your body 20 to 30 minutes to adjust after waking up. Sit up slowly, drink a glass of water, and let your circulation stabilize before stepping into the shower. If you still prefer morning showers, keep the water lukewarm instead of piping hot, and ease into it gradually instead of blasting yourself right away. These small adjustments can drastically reduce the stress on your arteries. It feels harmless to shower right after waking, but for seniors, it's like stacking risk on top of risk at the worst possible time of day. And if timing can be this dangerous, just wait until you hear about the habit of combining showers with alcohol in your system, something that silently magnifies stroke risk even more. Number 2. Alternating between hot and cold showers quickly. Some people swear by contrast showers, switching rapidly between hot and cold water, as a way to boost circulation or shock the body awake. While this practice might be trendy among athletes, for seniors over 60, it can be a recipe for disaster. The reason is simple: your blood vessels can only handle so much pressure. When exposed to hot water, they dilate and widen, which lowers blood pressure. Switch suddenly to cold, and they snap back, constricting and raising pressure. That violent back and forth forces your heart and brain vessels into a tug of war they can't always win. Me Evelyn, 69. She had read about contrast showers online and thought it might help with her joint pain and energy. She started switching between steaming hot water and ice-cold bursts in her morning routine. At first, she felt invigorated. But one morning, after a few cycles, she suddenly felt dizzy and her left side went numb. Her daughter rushed her to the hospital, where doctors diagnosed her with a mild ischemic stroke. They explained that the rapid shifts in blood pressure had strained an already vulnerable artery in her brain. What she thought was a wellness hack nearly robbed her of her independence. The safer approach for seniors is consistency. Stick with warm or lukewarm showers and avoid sudden extremes. If you want the benefits of circulation support, gentle exercise or a short walk does far more for your body without putting your arteries under siege. And if you're tempted by trendy health hacks, always remember that what works for a 25-year-old athlete isn't safe for a 70-year-old with aging blood vessels. Contrast showers may sound like a path to vitality, but for older adults, they're a hidden landmine. And if you think that's frightening, wait until you hear the single most dangerous shower habit of all, the one that has sent countless seniors to the ER overnight. Number 1. Showering late at night before bed. Very hot water. For many seniors, a hot shower before bed feels like the perfect way to relax and drift into sleep. But here's the shocking truth. This habit could be the most dangerous of all. At night, your blood pressure naturally drops as your body prepares for rest. When you step into very hot water just before bed, your vessels dilate dramatically on top of that natural dip. The result is a dangerous drop in blood flow to the brain, or in some cases, a rebound surge as your heart struggles to stabilize. Extreme can trigger a stroke in vulnerable adults. Studies confirm the risk. Research published in Hypertension Research showed that older adults exposed to hot water at night experience exaggerated swings in blood pressure and heart rate compared to morning showers. These swings were enough to double the risk of fainting or cerebrovascular stress. Add the fact that most late-night strokes go unnoticed until morning, and you have a silent danger hiding in what feels like a harmless bedtime routine. Meet Leonard, 73. He loved ending his evenings with a long, steaming shower. One night after finishing, he felt weak but went straight to bed. By morning, his wife noticed his speech was slurred and his face drooped on one side. Doctors confirmed he'd suffered a stroke overnight, triggered by his hot shower combined with nighttime blood pressure changes. What seemed like relaxation had quietly turned into catastrophe, the safer choice. Keep nighttime showers short, warm instead of scalding, and give your body at least 30 minutes to recover before lying down. Better yet, move your shower earlier in the evening, when your circulation is more stable. It may feel comforting, but the wrong shower before bed can be the final straw for a vulnerable brain. So there you have it, 8 shower habits that can secretly raise your stroke risk overnight. Some of them seem harmless, even relaxing, but now you know the truth. The timing, the temperature, and even the way you stand in the shower can push your brain to the breaking point. Sarcopenia may steal muscle, but stroke can steal everything in a single moment: your speech, your balance, your independence. The good news? Every one of these risks can be reduced with simple changes. Wait after meals. Keep showers shorter. Avoid extreme heat or cold. Move your body, don't stay still, and think twice about those late-night hot showers. Small choices add up to massive protection for your brain. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these habits surprised you the most? And are you guilty of any of them? Tell me in the comments below. I read and replied to every single one, and your stories inspire the whole community. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We bring you more senior-focused, science-backed health tips every week, the kind that can add years to your life and life to your years. Stay safe, stay strong, and protect your brain. It's the one thing you can't replace. Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. Thanks for watching.